We are back, gentlemen. These urban times and Live Hip Hop Dailies present Sideline Stories live from downtown Atlanta. We about a mile away from Mercedes-Benz Stadiums and the new State Farm Arena, so it'll be rocking pretty soon out here. And actually, we'll be rocking this Sunday as the Cincinnati Bengals come to town and take on our Atlanta Falcons. We're going to talk a little NBA action because during this week 4 in the NFL, we're going to see 4 starting rookie quarterbacks get an opportunity to do their thing. So we've seen Baker Mayfield has been named the starter out in Cleveland. Big win for him the other night, last Thursday actually, to be exact, against H's New York Jets. Of course, the Jets will be the team to give Baker Mayfield his first win. Speaking of those Jets, we've seen Sam Darnold. He's having an up and down few weeks. Came out firing the last 2 weeks. He's kind of fizzled off, so we'll see what he does during week 4. Then you have Josh Rosen out in Arizona. He's been officially named the starter. Sam Bradford does what he does best. He's on the bench collecting a paycheck.
He's a legend at the bank.
And then we got Josh Allen, who surprised many of folks last week in Minnesota as the Buffalo Bills picked up a big win against the Minnesota Vikings. So we'll get to see what four top rookies who were drafted. I believe the only other first round draft pick that was a quarterback was Lamar Jackson from your Baltimore Ravens.
He's doing exactly what I said. Joe Flacco's playing well.
Yeah, get Joe up out of here. But we're gonna talk about the cast that'll be starting off. So, gentlemen, I wanna ask y'all first. We're gonna talk. Baker Mayfield. What are your expectations from Baker? What do you think to see? Craig, we'll start off with you.
Baker, I need to see more because you come up playing the Jets and they didn't even really scout for you. So let's see what happens when you give.
Is that legitimate? We heard what Jamal Adams said. Yes. Is that on the coach? Shouldn't you always be prepared when you know that a first round talent like that could possibly be getting the game?
I mean, you can say that.
And is much of their game different between him and Tyrod?
Yeah. You can say that. Baker's a lot more accurate. He's more of in the pocket, even though he can escape. Tyrod, you have to deal with a dual threat quarterback. He's not as accurate. But if you spend the week, splitting your reps between trying to prepare for one quarterback and the other, you won't prepare for any. So I'm pretty sure they prepare for Tyrod, and they may have said, okay, we may see Baker, but that's, you can't.
Chances are slim.
Right. You can't come on here and say, yeah, well, Baker came in, we already know what he's got. Nah, it's not going to work. So let's see what happens when he faces somebody who spent the whole week preparing for him.
What do you think?
I'm with that. I don't think there was much to scout with Baker. Now that they have some stuff they can actually look at his reads and see how he's analyzing the field now. I think Baker's going to adjust, and I think Baker's going to have a solid year. I mean, I'll call them 9-win team.
Oh, we agree there. I said the same thing. Cass thought I was crazy. I said it would be 9-7. I loved your facial reaction, so we'll talk. What are your thoughts on Baker? Because when I said that, you looked at me like I was crazy. I told you that the Steelers would struggle, and they're struggling right now.
I'm fine with that.
And I told you that Cincinnati would win. I just picked Cincinnati though because I didn't want to give your Ravens any love.
That's you a hater.
I am sometimes. In my off time. What are your thoughts on Baker?
I'm with what they're saying. I mean, now you're having a full week of film and breaking stuff down. I mean, we know John Gruden's not the greatest defensive coach, but I mean, he's a head coach at the same time. So
Thank you. I like that. You'll be playing the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, they're playing the Raiders. So, I mean, that's not the greatest defense in the world, but they have time to prepare everything. And they're definitely going to double Jarvis Landry because we know it's going to be Baker's favorite target. No, hell, LSU. But
one thing y'all did right.
Wow.
So where do you see Cleveland finishing out?
I mean, they can finish last for all I care, but they're going to.
He's a Ravens fan, so he's going to be biased here.
I'll be biased.
Let's be real here. How many wins you think?
We give him 7 or 8.
No, that's too much. I said
too much.
Yeah, man. Look, you can't go from 0 to 9 like this now.
I mean, but Pittsburgh looks like they suck.
And this is a whole revamp. This is a new roster. Yeah, this is a totally different roster, and they could ride a wave for a season. We saw the Texans do it last year with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Y'all finish? I'm not buying. Look, I'll give them 6 wins. I'll be nice, 6 or 7, and not win no 8 or 9 games. No, y'all made me believe before that. I'll go jump in Lake Erie.
Hold it to him.
I'll go jump in Lake Erie, and they win 9.
Road trip. We're gonna be jumping in Lake Erie
in the cold.
I'll go jump in Lake Erie. Road trip. Yeah, if the Browns win 9. Or if they win 9 or 10 games, I'll jump in Lake Erie.
Well, they already got 2 wins against the Steelers. They'll probably get one on y'all.
I'm going to give y'all 5 letters.
RELAX on Baker right
Oh,
there.
come on.
Because look, man,
Thank you.
one thing about the NFL
I like
is
that.
defensive coordinator say, okay, I got film. Preseason, you can't look at film. What's going to happen when you got a terrific Suggs? NFL is kind of making it soft form.
Like you said, you gotta
defensive
lay him
to-
down,
yeah, you got to lay him
press him
down
and all that. Yeah.
But I want to see what he do. The team was very energized when he walked on the field, which is crap because they should have been 2-0 before that. But anyway,
I dig
but they got very energized. What's going to happen when the team has to say, okay, Baker, we've been defensing you. We see what you can do. Everybody was hyped. We're going to see the game. I don't know if Oakland can do it because somebody traded their best pass rusher, but that's
Keep
just a whole other
saying
thing.
we can't find a pass rusher.
That's just a whole different story. But even though the Steelers are not the great, one of the division that he's going to have his toughest time is with his own division. Baltimore got a good defense. Cincinnati got a good defense. Steelers, we're figuring that out right now. But you
Up
know,
and down.
what's going to happen when he have how many games? Have they played Pittsburgh yet?
Yeah,
They
they
tied.
they tied.
They tied.
They-
But that was with Tyrod, so Baker
Yeah.
hasn't seen Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Baker had to send it, and you
I
got
gotta go to
5
Pittsburgh.
games against that. That's Geno Atkins and Suggs and all those going to be coming at you. It's going to be interesting to
TJ
see when the
Watt.
pressure comes at him. I'm not saying he's going to have a bad. I'm 6'7", possible 8. I'm like a bad spade hand, 6 impossible, 7 impossible. But I want to see when he gets that and when he plays them. All these rookies going to have. This is the first quarter of the season. We're about to go into our 4th game. You still got 12 more games. When that body get to wearing on you, when they started waking up every morning, you ain't got that 10 games or 11 games. You got 16 games you got to finish.
God bless you.
And this is going to be a tight division. So you're going to have to play 16. Ain't no resting at the end of the season. You got to play all games. How would it look for him? I think Baker's going to be a good quarterback. But I got to see the rest for him. Now teams going about to jump on his. I'm about to see what they
I
can
told
do.
you about the Big 12
I'm
quarterbacks.
I'm buying into the Baker hype right now as well. I think Hugh Jackson is one of the quarterback whisperers in the NFL. I like Hugh. I do like Hugh.
I'm liking to win for you.
I
He
like-
was at a
He did that to himself.
I like Hugh.
He
And
should have
and
took Deshaun Watson.
I also like. I mean, he should have taken Deshaun last year. I agree with you there. But now he has a quarterback who can produce and who he can tutor, mentor, and he has weapons, as you mentioned. Jarvis Landry went to LSU, and a few other cats out there.
David Njoku in Miami.
I like Njoku. I like Carlos Hyde being back in
like him to
Ohio.
play with your cousin, huh?
No, I like athletic tight ends.
Callaway.
Me and Groovy Lou were talking about that the other day. He's breaking down, a tight end is supposed to be able to block and receive. I like it. I like the athletic tight ends. I like the
Jimmy Graham
Aaron
type receivers.
Hernandez,
Eric
before he did what he
Because they're
did.
mismatches.
I like those
Mismatches.
types of Zach Ertz. I like those type of guys. Josh Rosen. It was highly touted coming out of UCLA. We heard, his former coach say he wouldn't take him in the first round, pretty much hating. I guess he knew he was one way out the door. He came in at an awkward situation last week. It was 2 minutes left in the game. I guess the Chicago Bears defense, a new stout defense. I said the other week that I felt like they were going to be a top 5 defense in the
I
NFL,
agree with you.
and they keep
I didn't say it
improving and keep improving. What are we going to see out of Josh Rosen? He has a few weapons. Out there, but this will be his first official start. What are we going to see from Rosen? Phil, let's start with you.
I wouldn't put any eggs in that basket. I never liked him in college. So
Is it because he's a Pac-10 quarterback, or is it just period from what you
period.
said?
I don't think he saw anything out there. And then now that you're in the league, it's a whole different ball game.
I respect
and it's
that.
like if you couldn't even hang with the big dogs in college, like he did, you're not going to do it in the NFL. That's my philosophy. So I hate to hate on him, but I'm going to do it well.
Y'all ain't hating at all. How you feeling, Mr. Glaze? How you feeling?
They'll be looking for a quarterback in 2 years.
Yep.
I don't think he.
So this is the wasted. Both of you feel like this was a wasted draft pick.
I think they panicked. They tried to get them a quarterback high. They felt like, and they read the clippings. I just don't think it was a good one. I've never been. I don't want to sound all bad against the Pac-12, but I'm not a big. They haven't produced. Everybody's on Sam Darnold.
Matt Barkley, Matt Lyon,
they on
That's just USC.
Marcus Mariota. I mean, it's
Mark Sanchez.
It's been a lot. I feel you.
Mariota decent.
It's just
That's what
USC
the book
because
still out
USC is
on
the
him.
only team
And
that matters.
you said it. His own coach was like, I wouldn't draft him. His college coach.
Yeah.
When your college coach,
He's been in the NFL.
He's been in the NFL. I mean, he didn't excel. He had Michael
Yeah,
Vick, but
I will.
Someone needs to get punched in the jaw, though. You can't be trashing a player like that, man.
he should have got.
That,
That's why he's on the board.
That's gonna hurt him.
you recruited this
He
cat.
didn't even have a job.
He's
Chip
on-
Kelly was in
he's
there.
on-
He made the comment. Yeah, he's out.
He's a commentator.
He's on. He's in a booth
He screwed
somewhere.
his own self.
Okay.
But I just don't know. I think they will be looking for somebody else. I mean, he does have a few talent around him, but they
Christian Kirk.
They might be 3-13, 4-12.
Ooh, how you feeling?
I mean, 3-13. Good Lord. I mean, there's not really a lot of talent on that offensive side. I mean, you got a lot of older players.
That's true.
David Johnson's coming back from injury. Larry Fitzgerald got to be 100 years old.
Halfway out the door.
Yeah, halfway out the door, but he still produce a little bit. Christian Kirk, you know what I'm saying? He's all right.
I want to see what he does.
I want to see if they could probably mesh. Who's they tight end?
Don't give me
Is that nobody knows?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Is it Jermaine Gresham?
I think so.
Is Gresham
He really
still
doesn't have
there?
help.
Gresham still
He really
there?
doesn't have a lot of help.
Yeah, Gresham's been
I like
terrible.
Gresham in Cincinnati.
Yeah, he ain't been good since then.
but he.
I mean, so it's gonna be a lot of get the ball to David Johnson. You know,
So you putting a okay quarterback with subpar talent.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
the offensive line is.
offensive line is yeah. I mean, I kind of lean to the more of the maybe 5-11. The defense is fine. I mean,
I think on the right hand column it's gonna be 2 digits.
that's what I said 5-11. I said 5-11. You know, getting that. I mean, that's still a tough division. You know, possibly. You know, NFC West. Yeah. So
I think
5-11.
that chain of Garoppolo out.
Well, yeah, I'll take that back. I mean, it's gonna be the Rams win the division anyway. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's here. There.
So let's go around the table. I'm gonna ask each of you gentlemen, just because we've seen the other 2 quarterbacks, and I just want a simple yes or no. Josh Allen, is he the quarterback of the future in Buffalo?
Yeah, who else is there?
You can pick somebody else next year. Sam Darnold, is he the quarterback of the future of the New York Jets? Sam Darnold, quarterback of the future of the New York Jets.
Yeah, I say yes to both. I will.
Josh Allen as well?
Yeah.
Josh Allen, quarterback of the future in Buffalo.
At least for the next 4 years.
Sam Darnold.
Yep.
Josh Allen?
Not by choice, but yeah.
Sam Darnold as well?
yes to go. But
It's kind of like a default.
It's not the opposite situation.
They'll be there.
Because Josh Allen, not Josh Allen, Josh Rosen.
Let me ask you, when you say future, are you talking?
At least the next 3-4 years.
They'll get through their rookie contract.
That's about it.
At least the next 3-4 years.
Now Rosen, I think he'll be there for 4 years.
Can
I might be back up.
I just had a question. Can somebody stop giving Sam Bradford a contract, please?
They can't. He cornered the market.
What's Rosen's guaranteed money?
Great question. That I don't know offhand.
It's like 20.
Oh,
Utah
is
10.
he still-
It's expensive to push him out.
Who?
I don't think he goes nowhere, but I don't think they're gonna. I hate to say you do it. I think Rosen will be in Arizona for a while, but he might be the best. He might be what the Clemson, Charlie Whitehurst.
Sideline Jesus.
Yeah.
Chattahoochee High School shout out.
He looks good over
He's
there.
a Georgia boy.
Yeah.
Beautiful sisters. Good Lord.
You see,
Google that.
You see how his hair used to be flowing on the sideline?
Sideline Jesus.
I think that's what Charlie would be, man.
Sideline Jesus.
Dude, they broke down a stat. He makes it's something like $4 million a snap because he's only taken like 10 of them probably over the whole course of his career.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous. I remember him doing a thing in San Diego.
Oh, yeah, it's great money back in football. It's a lot. Look at Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
We'll get to that briefly in a moment. Breaking news that took place today earlier in the NFL. We know what's been going on with Colin Kaepernick and the anthem protest. One of the gentlemen that were right behind him and supporting him was safety at the time of the San Francisco 49ers, Eric Reid. And Eric Reid's name's been all over the headlines throughout the entire NFL offseason because there have been several teams who need a safety and an adequate safety. He was an all-pro as a safety for the San Francisco 49ers, so we know the gentleman is talented. He was also kind of some hype in him. Fans were saying that maybe with the injuries that are taking place here to Ricardo Allen and Keanu Neal, hope they get well soon here in the Atlanta area. That Atlanta should look at Eric Reid, but he actually ended up being signed right up the road, right up the street. He's a member now of the Carolina Panthers. Eric Reid signed a 1-year deal with the Carolina Panthers. I think that says a lot. I have to give some credit. I forget who I was listening to earlier on ESPN, but they were just kind of speaking about how. It's funny. Oh, no, excuse me. It wasn't ESPN. It was 92.9 The Game. It was Mike Bell. So I'll give him his credit. Mike Bell that's on 92.9 The Game.
Mike Bell.
He was speaking on the signing of today. He said, it's funny what a year will do because last year when the Panthers were signed with Jerry Richardson, there's no way in hell that he would pick up an Eric Reid. He had an issue with picking up cats that had tattoos. So there's no way in hell that he would pick him up. But he was fine. But Jerry Richardson, was fondling women, in his off time in the workplace. So it just goes to show, some of the double standards. Thank you, that go into play in the NFL. But Eric Reid is now a member of the Carolina Panthers, much needed for the Carolina Panthers in this tough division. We see the Falcons look pretty good so far. Tampa Bay's offense looks pretty good so far. We'll talk about Jameis Winston and Ryan Fitzpatrick in a moment. We all know what Drew Brees and the Saints bring to the table. Craig, I'm going to start with you on this one. What were your thoughts when you saw that Eric Reid was signed? And does this possibly open the door for Colin Kaepernick in the future?
My first thoughts were, why didn't Atlanta sign him? We have 2 safeties out. Why isn't he in the Atlanta uniform? 1. 2, it brought me back to the point. I was like, we're to the point now where we're celebrating that an all-pro, safety has a job. He's in his prime. There's a travesty. He didn't have a job prior to this, but you get it. He had a case for collusion himself.
It's still out there.
So you get it. But and with Colin, I think I think it's a wrap on that. Unless somebody just tries to prove a point or for PR, I don't think Colin's getting a job in the NFL.
Phil, what do you think? What were your thoughts when the news broke that Eric Reid? Because it actually broke as earlier today when I was on your show. Plug your show as well. We were sitting in the studio and I got the text from you, and then I got a text. You sent me the text before I saw the flash on ESPN. That Eric Reid has a job. What are your thoughts on it? And do you think that kind of opens the door for Colin Kaepernick?
So this is really a complicated situation for me. I'm a veteran, so anytime I see someone take a knee, it hurts. At the same time, that's what we do it for. That's the whole reason we serve. That's the whole reason. It's peaceful. So when I first saw it initially, I'm like, hell yeah, they deserve to be back. I think it might be done with Colin. At the same time, that dude's career is about to go so much further than the NFL. He's an icon. He will go down in history as a civil rights legend. And I think Nike is just the beginning for Colin Kaepernick. I think his career is so far ahead of the NFL, they just don't see it yet. But yeah, when I saw the Panthers pick him up today, good. First off, not good. I hate Carolina, but and still hate you, Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Yeah, and but yeah, the fact that these guys don't have a job, I think it's ridiculous. And do I like to see it? No. But should someone's career be ruined for expressing their First Amendment? Heck no. And if anyone has that big of a problem with it, go live in a communist country and see what it's like when you're censored. So, yeah, good for him. I'm glad he's back.
What are your thoughts on it?
This wouldn't have happened last year because of Jerry Richardson. That's just the way it is with Jerry. He wouldn't have let it happen. So, I'm going to talk from a game plan and a scheme. I'm upset, and I've had arguments all day with people about why the Falcons didn't pick him up. You little 2 safeties. This guy's he's only in his 6th year and can bring the range. Let's talk football. Safeties are the guys who get your people in position.
Right.
Carolina lost their
quarterback of the defense.
They're the ones. Did you see last week with the Falcons when they was out there pointing and people were out of position?
Lost.
And let's look at it from off this. You got Matt Ryan and Julio, Drew Brees and his crew, and Fitzmagic. Carolina made a great decision because they know this is a passing league. Mm-hmm. So if you get out of your feelings about that, this was a great. Carolina just won today.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
they won it. He got a 1-year deal. He probably gets $2 to $3 million from it.
I think 1.7.
So they gave him veteran minimum.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's a steal.
Yeah.
Because Cap come back.
He might be better than the Saints they just lost.
I think the league. The only reason I say he may, because of that collusion case. Mm-hmm. And they seeing themselves losing that collusion case. They've already lost one judgment this in the offseason this summer about the case still going. And now they're a little bit concerned about what can happen. Does Cap come in and make a team that much better? We don't know yet. But it kind of does say they're a little bit worried about this. Eric Reid's the first door, but I'm more upset when I saw that Atlanta, who has no safeties. I mean, KZ's all right and Ishmael's okay, but this guy was Atlanta got a $4 million cap space. We couldn't pay 1.5.
I got one question for y'all. Yeah, so when other players get out and they sit out for a while, that's one thing. But when a quarterback stays out of the league, how detrimental do you think that is to Colin's future? The fact that downtime I feel like is rough when you're
tough.
a leader.
unless he has a coordinator, somebody he knows the offense. You got to learn the whole offense.
Yeah.
And you got to come in and be it. That's why quarterbacks usually during spring, summer, you can get them in. Safety, come in, cover 2, cover 3, cover 1. You get
hop right in.
I agree. I think if it's a coach out there, you know, like Kaepernick's not Michael Vick, but similar to Michael Vick.
Right.
You're gonna run a certain playbook for him.
Right.
You know, you're not gonna give him Tom Brady's playbook. He's not gonna be able to use everything that Tom Brady uses on a daily basis. But certain coaches per se, like just say your Andy Reids, your quarterback whisperers, your Hugh Jacksons, you know, per se. Let's say if Baker goes down or something like that. There are guys who I think Cullen stayed in shape. He's working out on a daily basis. He's let that be known. So I don't think that would be an issue. And I do think being a quarterback, you're one of the smartest players, if not the smartest players, already out on the field.
He adapted in San Francisco super quick.
Absolutely.
So it's like, I don't think so. I don't. You know, I actually think I don't want to say it's preserving him. You know, but I do think. I think just per se that, you know, I think Colin Kaepernick can still play 8 successful years in the NFL. You know, if he was signed by a team today, I think he can still play 8 great years in the NFL, especially with the way it's forming to be in a passing league. What are your thoughts on Eric Reid, and do you see Cap ever have an opportunity to come back?
I was definitely happy that Eric Reid got back in the league because, you know, he's the All-Pro. And ain't too many All-Pros at 26 that's not having a job.
He's only 26.
He's 26. 26. He's 26. Because you know what I'm saying?
Because I think he didn't even make it to his second contract.
No, they let him go. Funny thing, they try to give him a multi-year deal after the fact he already walked out the building. So 49ers messed that up. So I mean, you get Eric All-Pro at 26 on a 1-year deal. He'll come in, make your defense better because he can also play linebacker too if he has to. So he has a wide range. So who knows? He might have a good year this year. Who knows? He might make Pro Bowl possibly. Then you have to pay him now. So that can open up the door in his rights. But as far as Colin getting another job, I won't be surprised now because now you have somebody that was standing with him who got signed by a team that was, like you said, probably never got signed by Carolina with Jerry Reese as an owner. So it might just be the right team and the right owner that want to step up and, you know, not for the PR purposes inside of Colin Kaepernick, but for football purposes. Can he help us win the games? So that's what I'm thinking. Can he help us win games?
Discount Nike.
And Nike being the
big players in the NFL, and if he's their spokesman, imagine shoe contracts matter, and that check matters. It's not a check, but I mean, you know,
swoosh.
Let me ask you, gentlemen, about a team that I think is kind of struggling right now in the NFL. They're looking pretty shaky and whatnot. Not too far off.
That might be next.
Not too far off.
The Eagles,
but the Dallas Cowboys. Now the Eagles are fine. The Dallas Cowboys. What's up with the Dallas Cowboys? You know,
not a lot. For the
first time in 23 years. In 23 years,
I start this, please let me.
Jerry Jones has said it's time. It may be time to hit the panic button. I don't know what Jerry been doing for the past 23 years.
What he been looking at?
On that good train.
But he's ready to possibly hit the panic button. Brandon, what's up with these Cowboys? What's up with Dak and the guys? What are they doing?
They stink. That's what it is. That offense is trash. I've been saying since Dak got in the league, Dak ain't really good.
Yep.
I've been saying, I don't know what all the hype. If you ain't watched Dak Prescott in Mississippi State, he's not really good. He had a decent season that last year with Dan Mullen, but he never won like the big games. He never beat Alabama. He never beat LSU, and those are the two top teams in the West. He never beat. I don't think he beat Auburn either. He might have beat Auburn once, probably.
No, I don't think.
I don't think he might not have. So, you know what?
Actually, yes, I do.
So I mean, Dak Prescott's not really great. You don't have your receiving core is terrible. Tavon Austin. Outside that one catch he had against the Giants, he's done nothing. I mean, who else? Allen Hurns had one good season. He's done nothing since.
Is it time to get rid of Jason Garrett?
Jason Garrett should have been gone 5 years ago. We know why he's still there. He's Jerry Jones' puppet. Okay, so him and Scott Linehan should both been gone. I mean, Zeke, you know, so he went to the media yesterday and said we're fine.
We just need to execute.
Yeah, we just need to execute. No, bro, y'all. That offense can't move the ball. Like they said, Dak hasn't thrown over 200 yards the last 9 to 10 games, something like that. He hasn't thrown 20 yards. Some people throw 20 yards in a half. Baker did that in a half. So I mean, the Cowboys, the defense is actually decent.
Okay.
Yeah, they're decent, but as far as they can't score no points, if Zeke can't run the ball 100 times, the Cowboys are trash.
What do you think about the Cowboys right now?
Problem with the Cowboys is Jerry Jones. He
been.
trips himself up.
Yep.
He's had a power struggle for the last few years. After the Jimmy Jones debacle,
They've been terrible since then.
after Parcells, who was there, couldn't get the grocery. Jason is there because Jason is here. He can
Puppet.
do his puppet. He's the problem. Until you get a GM in there who can actually scout talent. They made a big, because everybody was like, as great as Zeke has been, team's gonna put 8 in the box now. Show me that you can throw.
Can't do it.
Can Dak throw? And now they talking about doing read option with him. Now you trying to say can't put Cam Newton's offense in it to make Dak go. Really, you taking play action out to do read option? Are we going read option with Dak because we have that bad of talent? Who's his number one receiver?
Nobody. Us.
Jason wouldn't lead.
Defense.
Who's his tight end?
Us.
Wide receiver, Des Bryant.
That's what I'm saying. So last year when he had that, they did. But Jerry Jones is the biggest problem, and he can't get out of his own way. His ego is bigger than his room. This whole loft.
To be the hype train.
Yeah, and when he had the GM, he had the talent. He just feels good. 23 years. He talking about now panic button.
Now it's time to panic.
23 years.
They haven't been in the play. They haven't won a playoff game since the Big Three.
In 23 years. Craig, I know you're not a Cowboys fan, but you got on blue, so it's fitting right now. What's up with these Cowboys?
You about to make me take the shirt off. The Cowboys have a simple problem. Their offense. You can't run Zeke all game. Like, you have one of the best offensive lines. That's cool, but that only works when you're trying to block 5 or 6. Like they put 9 in the box because now we're like, okay, we're gonna leave your subpar receivers
One-on-one
and tell your subpar quarterback to beat us. Simple. Same philosophy I would. I was like, okay, Zeke's not gonna beat me. If Zeke beats me, it's because he has 6 broken tackles on each run. There's no way he's gonna beat me. So Dak, he's gonna either have to throw the ball more efficiently, more effectively, and they're gonna have to get more talent. You don't have anybody who can win a one-on-one matchup on the outside. No. Your tight end, your safety blanket, which is supposed to be your tight end. Who is the tight end?
Rico Brooks or Rico Gathers?
Oh, the boy who played basketball.
Yeah, Rico Gathers.
Okay,
Rico Gathers, the basketball player.
You just described him as the boy who played basketball, and you just said Rico something.
Rico Gathers, that's it.
He was Rico Brooks.
I don't even know
his name right.
I don't even know who that is. So, case in point, you don't have a safety blanket. You don't have anybody who can win a one-on-one matchup. Your running game is going to suffer because nobody is going to even be scared of the threat of you throwing the ball. So you're not going to win many games unless you're facing an inferior team.
Phil, how you feeling about it?
I think y'all hit the nail on the head. Just stack it up in the middle and make him throw, and he can't. At the same time, they haven't really built a team around him. So
I respect that. I do respect that.
So maybe give it a few more picks, see what they do on the offensive side of the ball. Like we said, the defense is solid, ish. And
enough.
Yeah, enough. Yeah, well, enough. But if you're not putting up any points, it doesn't matter. So, I think it's tough because I don't consider myself a football expert, but I feel like I could coach against that team and win. Just stack the box.
Put 8 in the box. Say, let's go.
Do
you think Jerry is capable enough of building a team around that?
No, I don't. And
he's
I
out of touch.
Like you said, growing up in Philadelphia, I was never an Eagles fan as a kid. I like the Packers. That's a long story. And I like
You don't like any Philadelphia team.
We went through this last week.
Phillies are the only team that
You like the worst one.
that I grew up
We
loving.
went through this last week.
93, we went to the World Series. I was in Veterans Stadiums in the 700 Club with the rowdiest fans in the world, and that just like changed my perspective on everything. You know?
We went through this last
But,
week. I don't know.
I do. I mean, ironically, a lot of cats in Philadelphia are Cowboys fans. Mm-hmm. So I had a lot of my friends or fathers and mothers who were Cowboys. So I remember how dominant Jimmy Johnson was. My mom was a huge Jimmy Johnson fan from his times in Miami to going to the NFL. So she didn't like the Cowboys, but just Jimmy Johnson. And I learned that. You said it yourself. Bill Parcells. She loves Bill Parcells as well. The groceries. That's something my mom would say all the time. Bill he doesn't have the groceries, but they want him to cook. Jerry Jones wants to buy your groceries and tell you what type of 5-star meal you need to make. And it don't work like that. It doesn't work like that in any setting, of entertainment. I can't tell you You got to work with what I give you. It don't damn sure don't work like that in the NFL.
And he get his groceries from
I agree
Aldi's.
with you 100%. I think Jerry World was kind of a scapegoat. It gave him a few years. The Cowboys won't be too good, but you can come check out this mega palace and everything. And now they are at a point where I think the Dez Bryant breakup is going to hurt the Cowboys more than they could have ever imagined, because I don't think money talks in the NFL, so that's real. And Jerry Jones will be able to offer cats a purse in the future. But as you mentioned a moment ago, I'm not with you gentlemen totally on Dak sucks. I don't think he's I don't think he's an elite quarterback by any stretch of the imagination, but I also don't think that we've had a chance to see the best of Dak because he hasn't had a team built around him. As you mentioned, he had Jason Witten, who was at the end of his career. He had Dez Bryant, who we see that he got him out the door. The scraps that he has right now, I don't think he's not an Aaron Rodgers where Aaron Rodgers can make do with what he has right now. But I don't think that he has the weapons around him right now.
Breaking news
is the problem.
The Rams are probably about to win, so just put that
Shout out to the Rams. They about to win. We're going to take a brief break right now. Then we'll be back to talk one more thing in the NFL. We were going to talk about the Patriots, but we're gonna pause on the Patriots. We're gonna wait and see. We'll see if they lose to the Dolphins on Sunday. Then we'll talk about them. But I do want to talk about. We're on
the week 5.
We'll talk about Winston and Fitzmagic, who should get the win there. Then I want to talk about Tiger Woods. We'll stick to you because you were recently out checking Tiger Woods, and we'll get some just feedback on Tiger. And we'll talk about Kelly Bryant and cats transferring in the college in the NCAA football world. We'll be right back. Check out this brief break. You're tuned in right now to Live Hip Hop Daily, and These Urban Times present Sideline Stories.
Kirk Cousins being Kirk Cousins.